Another beautiful day to talk about the things that happen for Nigeria. Good evening, Nigeria, and welcome to Updated Precious. A beautiful day to talk about Nigeria and the things that happen for Nigeria. My name is Precious Ini, and I be happy today with you to bring on a gist with the happen for inside Nigeria. So let's get started, shall we? Today is Sunday, by the way, so hopefully we've got a Friday, Sunday tonic in the house. But let's just get straight to business and begin to break down the conversation or the things that we won't talk about one by one. So to start with, like we go to some topics and we be some to read them with the hot well this evening. Nigerian government turned us to terrorists, bandits say during fresh peace deal in Katsina. They strike another peace deal with them and they whole mic they address the press. Cause it not be their fault to say the Nigerian government turned them to terrorists. And then climate change responsible for killings of Christians in Nigeria. Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs says Trump misled by fabricated fabricated statistics and doctored videos. So say not be then they cannot be say they just did they kill Christians. You see, when climate change happen, people need to move from one place to the other, and that movement will cause deaths. I don't know if you understand me. We'll get to that conversation. UK issues fresh travel warning, declares 20 Nigerian states unsafe over rising kidnappings and terrorism. Oh, so now no say there is rising kidnappings and terrorism. Abi, on no talk since. What you gonna take to help on a conquered nation, handle the matter? That's not question where people they ask me. That's not be me ask them. Christian genocide thriving in Nigeria because past and current APC government refuse to acknowledge and do something to end it. Gospel singer Victoria Renz and I they talk this one. We'll look into them. Alleged genocide. Let's rally behind Tinubu to end terrorism. APC chieftain charges Nigerians. We could gather around them. We could end terrorism. Okay. Lakurawa terrorists kill Nigerian customs officer. Burn camp in late night attack on Kebbi community. Residents protesting security in Kogi community after abducted elderly woman was found dead. An abducted elderly woman was found dead. Another attack again. And then, no room for politics anymore on securing lives and properties of Nigerians. Tinubu should act now to avoid wrath of Donald Trump. Apostle Ugu, now they talk this one. Massacre of Christians in Nigeria not getting needed outrage because they are lower class citizens living in rural communities without internet, electricity. Now, musician Odumodu Black, they talk this one. You go good, not cover everybody. Meanwhile, my life is in danger. People have put money on my head. Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo, now he don't talk life as he debunk, say he don't disappear. He say no, he don't disappear, he still there, but say they don't put money for his head. Nigerian soldiers in Onitsha opened fire on policemen returning from Anambra election. Many officers injured. Wonder shall never fail. Tinubu government focused on 2027 election while Nigerians die daily. Can ex-president Samson Ayokunle now talk this one? Boko Haram eyes swapping fierce battle for control of Borno Lake Chad Islands. That one day. And then patients in Kebbi Government Hospital received blood transfusion on bare floor, despite 973.8 million spent to renovate facility. Person they get blood transfusion for ordinary ground. You see, you know, good day well with anybody we do us like this for this country. Let's move on. Soludo hails Tinubu INEC chairman for conducting best governorship election ever in Nigeria in Anambra State. Say the election too good. Tinubu congratulates Soludo on re-election, hails governor's visionary leadership. Soludo Japan. Anambra poll, forget 2027. Your people rejected you. APC mocks Obi after losing his polling units. Soldiers meant for Sambisa now at collation centers. Lawlessness is outstanding. Lawlessness is outstanding. Nigerians react to military presence and deputy governor's role in Anambra election. And then all this and other matter that Nabi so good to touch like this evening. I'd like to say a big thank you for joining us and joining us in the studio. Now, Olga Francis Chilaka. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Yeah, Precious, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How about you, sir?
I'm very well.
Welcome back. I see you look like you're in Nigeria again.
back to reality.
Okay, you don't leave your fantasy. You don't come back to your reality. You're welcome, sir. All right. I hope your trip went well.
Yeah, I did. It was interesting.
Okay, all right. Okay, good. Okay, so at least it was void of drama as we see. But before we start to talk, I don't know whether you don't see all the things that they trend about drug case, no drug case, somebody pushing somebody to drug, not pushing me to drug, marry me at 17 and all that. This is not a gossip blog, so I'm not serious business to talk about, but I thought maybe you may want to chime in on that. And
Let me start by saying that people need to realize that marriage is not for the faint-hearted,
okay.
and marriage is not a child's play. Um, Marriage is not all the fees that goes with the wedding. The wedding is just the show. The marriage is the reality. And every marriage, no matter how lovey-dovey the partners are, the first 2, 3, 4 years, or the first 5 years, is always difficult. It's stormy, and it is that period that they get to understand themselves and get to appreciate what they have, whether they want to keep it or they want to lose it. Now, looking at the issue of Ned Nwoko and Regina Daniels, it's unfortunate that things have turned this way. We saw it coming, but it wasn't.
You saw it coming?
Yes. Let me tell you one funny thing. When a man of 50, for instance, goes and marry a girl of 19, 20, first of all, you need to realize that she has.
No, he wasn't even 50. According to him, if he's 65 now, that means he was about 60 years old when they married.
It doesn't matter. But the point is that he has crossed that bar. Now, you're dealing with somebody who is 18, 19, as at that time. She already has.
She claimed she was 17.
Sorry?
She claimed she was 17.
There's this youthful exuberance. Now, when you go out with somebody like that, you are 50, you go to a party, you want to drink wine, she wants to tell you she wants to drink milkshake. What do? So these are issues, you got to deal with. And at that age difference, you must know the fact that the tendency to treat her like a father more than a husband, it will be there.
Okay, but my interest in this really is the fact that a sitting senator aided her in drugs by her accusation. He's accusing her of drug dealing, but she said that, look, you introduced me to it. I wasn't doing it at the time I married you. And you to inject me whenever I want to leave you. Is that not damning? Is that not too damning for a sitting senator to be embroiled in that kind of,
When you say a sitting senator, you're trying to glorify that office of senatorship. Come out on air to say that a lot of them are not qualified to be there. You heard it, that a lot of them are problem of this country, and they shouldn't be regarded as senators. Whatever it is still an accusation. At the end of the day, people are going to look at it as a quarrel between a husband and a wife. But why I'm really pissed with the two parties is the fact that they have turned the social media into their lives. They have thrown their lives into the social media, which they shouldn't be doing. It should be a private matter that should be settled internally. The husbands. This is something they should settle on their own and not involving the entire world. But then it is what it is. Ned is accusing the younger brother and the siblings and the friends of being the ones supplying her with drugs. Now she's accusing the husband of being the one that introduced her to drugs. So it's so messy, but it's so shameful because at the end of the day, This is not what is worrying Nigerians. Nigerians just see it as something to pass time with. Not between the two Nigerians. The way they do Nigerians pass this one. There is hunger, there is poverty, there is lack of employment, there is lack of electricity, there are bad roads, there is bad governance. These are the problems of Nigeria.
Trump is coming, and there is Trump is coming.
Well, whether Donald Trump is coming or not, you can see the way the government is reacting. You can see the way the Nigerian Council of Islamic Council of Qatar. You can see everybody is reacting. The bottom line is that everybody is pretending. Nobody wants to hear the truth. Nobody wants to accept the truth. And there are things you hear, you ask yourself, how would somebody in his right mind be telling you that climate change, people are being slaughtered in their hundreds because of climate change? I mean, in this 21st century, what are we talking about? We have said severally, why can't those who believe that cow is worth more than a human life, why are they failing to embrace ranching? Why are they failing to embrace it? So please let us not be carried away with what people are saying. The truth of the matter is that yes, people are being killed left, right, center, forward. Muslims are being killed. Christians are being killed in their numbers. But when people come out and give excuses, I ask one question: the land, the ancestral homes of those who are still living in IDP camps, who is occupying it? That's the question the government should answer. Because it is the duty of the government to protect the lives and properties of Nigerians according to the 1999 Constitution. So if you're telling me that there is no genocide in Nigeria, and that you want us to go to bed, you want us to be happy that there's no genocide, then tell me those lands, who is occupying them?
So let's get straight to the crux of the matter, focus on our conversation this evening. So community leaders and council chairmen from Charanchi and Batagarawa local government areas in Katsina State yesterday, Saturday, signed a peace agreement with a group of armed men, otherwise called bandits, terrorists. They signed a peace agreement with terrorists. Now, at the meeting, one of the bandits or terrorists, as you like, addressed residents directly with microphone. He hold up one hand, they talk to them, saying the insurgency and kidnapping were shaped by wider political decisions rather than only by local actors. Quoting him, he says, "It was the government that wanted us to engage in banditry, but now it has called us and told us to stop it." That is, the government won't want them to engage in banditry before. They don't call them now, they say me them stop it. Therefore, by God's grace, we have stopped from today. Said one of the bandits during the peace meeting between the Batagarawa and Charanchi held peace talk on Saturday. Now, quoting him further, he says, if the government wants all this insecurity to end, they have the power to end it. But they don't want it to end. For the past 2 months, we have been trying to initiate a peace talk, but we were unable to because they didn't want to know. They didn't know where we were hiding. But when they finally decided to meet us, they were able to find and talk to us today. Peaceful coexistence and the end of insecurity depends on the Nigerian leaders. If they want us to keep striking and attacking, we will. But if they want peace, we will also make it happen. Anyone they want, we will give unto them. We don't have the power or wisdom to bring peace to the country except through the Nigerian government, because everything is under their control. Despite people saying that we are attacking, it is the government that made us to do it. It is the government that is making us to attack. Now, quoting him further, he says, if they don't want us to attack or kidnap people, they can stop it. However, today, they were the ones who called us, and by God's grace, we have stopped from today. You oppressed citizens, if you want to cry, don't cry with us. Okay, you oppressed citizens, right? If you want to cry, don't cry with us, the terrorists, but cry with the government, for they are the ones who made us do what we have been doing to you. That's so the terrorists then talk. Yeah, Prince Francis Chilaka. Mm.
You know,
This
you know,
something
you know,
supposed to be
if you recall, before the 2023 elections, um, when the bandits were really, really all over the place. If you recall, they said something. There was a time they called for a meeting, and the bandits then said that the federal government know what they want. I'm sorry, remember? They said the federal government know what they want, and that the federal government,
during that. I wanted to say that during that during that Kaduna Abuja railway attack, they also said
exactly.
same thing then too. Yes.
Good. They said that the government knows what they want, and that they even went as far as saying that they wanted President Buhari then to come out and settle them. You see, this whole thing about banditry and all of that, we can't push it under the carpet. We can't say because they say there's a peace talk and everything dies down. No, that is not how to handle this issue. And that's why I'm asking. The ancestral homes of people living in IDP camps, who are those occupying it? Why has government not been able to take the people back to their homes? I mean, there was a report that was out, I think it was last week or last 2 weeks, where they said that those lands have been occupied by the Fulanis. And that they have brought not only themselves, but they have brought their wives and children. So the whole idea is that wipe out a community, make sure nobody returns to that community, and you own it. So whatever these people are saying, you know, the Nigerian government needs to come clean. The Nigerian government needs to tell Nigerians the deal they have with these bandits or terrorists or headsmen, whatever you want to call them. There must be another, because they can't come and say what they're saying if they don't have some form of arrangement with the government.
So is it that, so if this is true now, if it's indeed true that there is an arrangement and perhaps waiting these terrorists in the talk not true, then does it mean that the government they deceive us all along? What did they thought? See, they're fighting them, they're squashing them, and they allocate plenty money for fighting insecurity. Is it that they're just deceiving us because knowing fully well, you know, waiting how this matter will fit to resolve, but they play politics? Could that be? I don't know.
Shegumi has told you severally that the government know where these people are, and that the government has the solution to solving this problem.
And then he also did say yesterday that they will not fold their hands and allow Donald Trump to bomb the terrorists, because the bandits and terrorists are their brothers and sons living in the forests. So
this thing is growing into a monster. And we're all smiling, we're all looking at it, we all think it's a joke. It is not a joke. Because when you listen to some people talk, you ask yourself, what gives them the audacity to talk the way they are talking? You remember when Jonathan was in power, and he had one General Hejirika that was decimating this group, that was almost going to bring them to a closure. The same northern leaders came out and cried. I think at the point they even reported Hejirika to International War Crime, whatever, that he was trying to kill their people. But in all of this, let us zero this thing down to reality. In all of this, The Northern Elders Forum, before now, have not seen the need to talk. The Arewa Consultative Forum have not seen the need to talk. The Sultan of Sokoto has also not seen the need to talk, but now he's talking. So everybody is not talking because of Donald Trump.
Sultan don't talk because the last time Sultan hold meeting with President Tinubu and when
No,
the
the national, what do they call that group? National Islamic.
No, that one a national Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs.
Yes,
and
he's
they talk
the head.
Talk.
No, he's the head. So for them to now speak, people are now speaking because American government has shown interest. Canadian government has shown interest. The British government that a lot of people were relying upon has also shown interest. So these are the issues that we cannot throw them away. We cannot forget it. The point I'm trying to make is that, you see, this whole thing about these killings and the fact that government woke up from sleep and said, oh, we are reintegrating and rehabilitating. Then something is wrong somewhere. Suddenly, everybody in the North now is speaking because they feel that there seems to be a closure to it. And the beneficiaries and those who will stand to benefit tomorrow don't want that closure. So I'm sure that suddenly the government is saying that we have what it takes to curb, to decimate these bandits and these headsmen and these terrorists. So I feel so bad that we have a government that is full of lies and deception.
All right, so since you mentioned that Islamic Council, let's just get straight to them. So the Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs has dismissed allegations of a Christian genocide in Nigeria, insisting that the killings are fueled by climate-induced migration, criminality, poverty, and not religious persecution. Now, speaking at a press conference, the whole press conference for inside Abuja today, Sunday, the Council Secretary General, Professor Ishak Oloyede, remember say Ishak Oloyede, Naimbiona JAMB Registrar. I don't know if that sounds familiar to you.
Yes, no,
Ishak Oloyede. He said the claims being circulated by some Western media and political figures were part of a coordinated campaign to destabilize Nigeria. Now, he maintains that the reports of violence against Christians in parts of the country are false, dangerous, and politically motivated. Quoting him, he says, "We affirm that in Nigeria there is no Christian terrorism, there is no Muslim terrorism, there is no religious intolerance in Nigeria. The Nigerian tragedy is that of poverty, climate change, but just to let you know, Ishak Oloyede, a professor, just to state it. Yeah, okay. Now, he said the problem we get now: poverty, climate change, bad governance over time, and armed criminals who kill indiscriminately, while a section of the world seeks to exploit the situation for geopolitical profits. Now, the Supreme Council's position follows renewed debates sparked by, of course, US President Donald Trump's issue. Now, the NSCIA, the Supreme Council Secretary, accused some Nigerian separatist groups, some of them, foreign lobbies. That is, how many separatist groups we get for Nigeria? You could say the IPOB now. So more like accusing IPOB. Ishak Oloyede accused IPOB, foreign lobbyists, and US politicians of exploiting Nigeria's insecurity for personal or political gain. Now, he noted these groups push fabricated statistics and doctored videos to influence Western governments, particularly the United States, to take punitive actions against Nigeria. He further alleged that the renewed US designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern was a political tool, not a reflection of facts on ground. The NSCIA called on both the Supreme Council called on both Nigerian government and international community to reject the false and destabilizing narrative, urging President Donald Trump to assist Nigeria with intelligence and logistics support rather than smear campaign. Olayede stressed that Muslims and Christians must stand together against terrorism and criminality, noting that there is no Muslim terrorism or Christian terrorism in Nigeria. Now, under this in tweets, people ask a lot of questions, sir. Or under these reports, they ask a lot of questions. They say, one, apart from Islamic terrorist organizations, among all the terrorist groups who get, who they crop up every day for Nigeria, from the bandits to the armed headsmen, where they kill and sack communities, to the Lakurawas, to the Mahmudas, how many of them, which one of them be a Christian terrorist organization? We don't go people villages commit this mayhem. That's the question people are asking. I don't think there's an answer or statistics to that answer yet. Two, they say, oh, you say there is no attack on Christians. Most of the communities where mass killing they happen, why are they always Christian dominated communities? Like communities in Jos Plateau State, the ones in Southern Kaduna, the ones in Benue State. Why are they always in Christian dominated communities? That's two. And then people can't even remember that money. They won Sheikh, where he visit Buhari give national award for hiding Christians from in mosque when Boko Haram they attack. They can say if the attack not be targeted at Christians, why they not kill the sheikh? Why they not bomb the mosque? Why it be say they spare the sheikh? Because for what reason are they sparing him? And then people also charge to say they want to see how many mass graves of Muslims they exist as much as we have mass graves of Christians. Where it be say, nah, Islamic or Christian terrorists, 9 kill them. I don't know if Professor Ishaq Oloyede has answers. If you can get answer to these questions and what people throw, not me trauma, what people they ask across social media. My work now to go pick up the questions and they ask. But make I hear your reaction because it is some things where they so mind-boggling. First of all, you know, say Lai Mohammed don't come and talk, say, oh, terrorists are targeting Christians because they won't divide us. At some points, Buhari admitted that yes, Christians are targets of terrorist attack. Bola Ahmed Tinubu and people for 2014 go US talk the same thing. What changed between 2014 and now that we're insisting that there is no Christian genocide? Again, you say the statistics where US gets they wrong. Meanwhile, the US people, let me say them they where they throw the statistics. So there are organizations owned by US and run by US that are on ground in Nigeria. We don't even accuse our media, say they go get their foot soldiers, go to these communities, cover reports, send to our media, and our media they need a Greek carrier. So I don't understand how you know get statistics, but they blame people who get statistics, say that they carry wrong statistics. No vexer. I hope I never talk too much.
You know, the truth of what we're faced right now is the fact that those who believe that they have power, those who believe that they're in government, those who believe that things are being targeted at them, they feel that by changing the narrative, things would turn around. But it's not. Because...
Wait a minute. You think that this is a deliberate change of narrative?
No, it is.
To make it look like... So they know the truth, but they just want to make it appear differently. Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. So it doesn't have Christians in the key. It doesn't have more Christians in the key or Christian terrorist organization, the key Muslims plenty. Therefore, change this narrative like this, they need to change them. If
that is why, because they have no figure, they have no statistics of the Muslims that have been killed. That is why they are looking for other areas to hold on to defend the whole situation. If you say that the killings are not targeted at Christians and that even Muslims have been killed, why are they not answering that question? Who is doing the killing? Is it the Christians that are killing the Muslims? Or is it the... See, there's something we need to understand, Precious. In the North, I want to challenge anybody from the North that would say what I'm going to say now is not true. In the North, the Muslim Fulanis do not see the Christian Fulanis as their brothers. And I'm telling you authoritatively, I can't hear you, by the way. I am telling you authoritatively, that the Muslim Fulanis do not see the Christian Fulanis as their brothers. And they are the ones they are taking out. They are the ones that are taken out. So it is, the truth of the matter is that it is purely a genocide. And I keep repeating, and I'll say it again, go through the entire north. Check all the emirs you have in the north. Point one of them that is an Hausa man. Point one, they are all Fulanis. The Fulanis are dominating the north. And statistics shows that the Fulanis are not even up to 5% of the population of the entire north. So those who are speaking now are speaking from the point that they feel that, oh, they don't catch us. So as they don't catch us, we will find how to escape.
But Professor Ishak Oloyede is a Yoruba Muslim. So I thought we used to hear that South-West Muslims know they're involved in any of this propaganda, if there is indeed a propaganda. That's what we used to hear.
But you see, during Christmas period, Precious, let me ask you one question. If the 25th of December is being celebrated by Christmas, being celebrated by Christians as Christmas, tell me which denomination will go celebrate Christmas that day. But if it comes to Islam, go and ask. For every time you have a public holiday or you have a major celebration, the northern Muslims' day is different from the southern Muslim day.
No, now Salah are the same every day.
I am telling you, I have quite a number of Muslim friends who are from the north. They will not attend a mosque that is being managed by a southern Muslim. So now that people they want to paint the picture that the Muslims in the north are united. They're not united. Between the south and the north, they know that the Muslims are not united. But that's not the point. The point is the fact that people are being killed. Who are the people killing these people? Why are they killing them? They're killing them for two reasons. They're killing them because they don't share the same faith. They're killing them because they want to take over their land. And that is why that statement by is it NSCIA or whatever they call them, the National Council of Islamic...
The Nigerian Council...
Nigerian Council, yes. That
Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, yes.
Talking about climate change is a hoax. It's a slap on the intelligence of, well-educated Nigerians. So you're telling me because of climate change, I will not leave Lagos and go to Ikorodu and kill people in Ikorodu because of climate change. Climate change now drives people mad. Climate change makes people trigger happy. Is that what they're trying to say? Because the weather is so hot in the north, you must come to the south and kill everybody in the south to occupy the south. If the climate change changes again and the south becomes hot, what will you do? So there are certain things that people would say. You would see some logic and some sense in it. And there are certain things people will say. You just know that these people are bereft of ideas. They don't know what to say. They're just looking for something to hold. It's like a man who is drowning. He's looking for something to hold on to. What is wrong with coming out clean and admitting that, oh, yes, this has been happening. We have looked the other way, but right now we are sorry. We want to find a solution to it. And then you talk about poverty. Poverty is all over the country. Poverty is all over the country, staring every Nigerian in the face. You talk about bad governance. Which state in Nigeria is faring well? Is it the states in the southwest, or the ones in the southeast, the ones in the south-south, or the ones in the north? So because of poverty, you will not go and kill people. In killing them, are you solving the problem of poverty? The ordinary ordinary people you are killing in the villages, are they responsible for the bad governance of the country? If you feel that bad governance is a problem, why not go and kill those in power? Go and take them out. That is within their purview. So if you look at that statement, you just know that this, no wonder JAM has become what it is. Let us face it, no wonder. You have a man who doesn't understand anything, you put him in charge of JAM. How will JAM progress? This was the same man that was shedding crocodile tears over JAM result that was rejected by Nigerians. And yet he's a professor. Unfortunately, professors in Nigeria have only done one thing for this country. They have helped to continue to foist people with questionable character as leaders in this country. And that is the only thing they are known for. Rigging of elections. Applying glitches here and there. He applied glitches in JAM, it didn't work. Now he's applying it on the issue of humanity, where people are being killed. You're giving 1,001 reasons that don't add up. And you're happy saying it. A man that calls himself a professor, they're telling people climate change, poverty, bad governance, hunger. These are the things that are making people go and kill people. You should as well have told us that the Muslims who are killing people are cannibals. You should have told us that. Then we'll understand what he's talking about. I don't understand how people who call themselves educated will be playing on intelligence of Nigerians. I don't expect such a thing from a man of that caliber to be talking that kind of rubbish. In his mind now, he's happy. When that man was shedding tears about JAM, I told people, I said, this is crocodile tears. Now it has shown the true character of who he is. While the government is talking about curbing the menace of banditry, terrorists and all of that, the government should start looking at how to expunge everything about religion in the 1999 Constitution.
All right, sir. So, this 1999 Constitution and part of this sense, saying a part of waiting the the pain, saying the US still they consider other issues. While the House of Congress, House of Representatives for US, they consider a bill to ban Miyetti Allah, not just ban, but ban and impose sanctions on Miyetti Allah and other groups and individuals who be said in see where they sponsor or they aid this terrorism. Ted Cruz, they also push their own bill. Ted Cruz, they also pushing own bill. In fact, the bill, a title, what Maka even find the Nigerian Religious Freedom and Accountability Act of 2025, they're waiting a title up. And he break down the things and when we want to achieve. He say the act may be cited as the Nigerian Freedom Accountability Act, Nigerian Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025. And it says one of the things he could do too, that imposition of sanctions. Now, the president shall impose sanctions under Executive Order 13818, which concerns blocking property of persons involved in serious human rights abuses or corruption. Hey, if they do this one, how many Nigerian politicians will survive them? On persons identified in the report required under subsection B, that's what you talk. Again, he say a report is required by the U.S. Department of State not later than 90 days after enactment and annually thereafter. That report must list Nigerian persons who, one, federal officials or state governors, who during the relevant period promoted, enacted, or maintained Nigerian blasphemy laws, including via public advocacy, legislative action, or executive enforcement directives, or tolerated violence by non-state actors invoking religious justifications to commit acts of immigration and nationality, nationality act, or specially designated global terrorists under Executive Order 13224. Now, I don't know how many governors go fit survive under this, based on one, implementation of Sharia laws, one thing or the other. But let's move on. Again, it say judges, magistrates, prison officials, or other judicial or law enforcement authorities who during the period enforced blasphemy laws. Like perhaps the judges now will make sure say then perhaps pass death sentence for that man will be say kill for self-defense. For example, persecution, conviction, imprisonment, or any deprivation of liberty. Hey, Nnamdi Kanu go fit follow for this kind of one, pursuant to such laws. Now, the period specified for reporting. For the first reports beginning 10 years before the date of enactment and ending on submission date. For subsequent reports from the date of the prior report to the end to the new submission date. Now, the report is to be submitted in unclassified form, though may include a classified annex. Designation and amendments related to the International Religious Freedom Act of 1998. The Secretary of State must, in reports required under IRF, that's International Religious Freedom, and under the International Religious Freedom Act, designate the Federal Republic of, that is the most designate one, the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a country of particular concern for engaging in or tolerating systematic, ongoing, and egregious violations of religious freedom. 2, Boko Haram, ISIS, West Africa, Islamic State province as entities of particular concern. Waiver authority. It says the secretary may waive the CPC designation if the secretary transmits a determination to the relevant Congress committees that neither Boko Haram nor ISIS West Africa is currently operating in Nigeria. Is it possible? 2, the federal and state governments in Nigeria are not currently enforcing blasphemy laws. That's a Sharia law. Similarly, the secretary can waive the requirement to designate an entity as EPC if that entity is not currently operating in Nigeria. Technical correction. The Act amend to correct freedom, religions, or religious freedom. So, I mean, this is quite enormous. It's big. So this now waiting in the push from the Senate, but we have the Congress also pushing almost something similar. What does this one mean for Nigerian politicians, especially since most of their properties go there at stake, their investments they're going to get for United States go there at stake? What do it mean?
Well, what this simply means is that what we have refused to do as a people, America wants to do it for us. We have refused to look at that obnoxious document called the 1999 Constitution. We have refused to remove religion from the Constitution. We have refused to make the Constitution a document that is owned by the Nigerian people. Rather, you have a document that is owned and operated by the political class. So now, fire the breeze don't blow, fire don't open. And I can assure you that a lot of people from the north, pretenders, want to fight this document. See, Precious, let me tell you one thing you should know for free. If tomorrow your constitution throws away everything that has to do with religion in it, a lot of these people that are talking all over the place will stop talking. But when people are talking, they're telling you the basis of where they're talking from. The basis is the fact that the Constitution protects their religion. And that's an aberration because we are supposed to be a secular state. So if you have a document that talks about one religion and does not talk about the other religion, then where is the secularity? Where is the freedom of expression? Where is the freedom of worship? So the political class need to wake up from their slumber. They need to do the right thing for this country to move forward. And that's the gospel truth. They need to. It is not something you and I can do because we do not have the legislative power to do it. And this is a time for the two arms of the National Assembly to begin to think as if there is no box. This is a time for them to be more proactive. To say, how do we resolve this issue? And those who have participated, 10 years back, in foisting this monster on us, should not be allowed to go unpunished. I was reading somewhere today, I don't know, I've not confirmed it, that your vice president and Senator Alimodi Sharif have also been classified as persons of concern by the United States.
I'm not aware of that.
Yes, it's on social media. That's why I said unconfirmed. And if that happens, that shows you that there's fire on the mountain. I've also seen some reports, some things flying around the social media where it's accredited to Alimodi Sharif saying that he was not responsible for bringing Boko Haram into the country.
There was a past information where he say blame Shetima, not him. He saying that Shetima, not be him. Yes. Boko Haram. I think we've seen that document before in the past.
So if that document is in circulation now, which is an old document that just come out, it simply shows you that this whole thing about Boko Haram is something that is deep, and it is deeper than the ordinary eyes of Nigerians can understand. So for me, I would say the government, when we say the government, we're talking of the executive, we're talking of the legislative, we're talking of the judiciary. They should wake up and do the right thing.
Why would they wait for them to wake up and do the right thing? So we don't wait for UK too since to talk about this matter. But UK has eventually spoken, and they don't speak so well because they don't call on. In fact, they don't want their people to say, when they travel go Nigeria, when are they careful of about 20 states? So the United Kingdom's Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, has issued a fresh travel warning for its citizens in Nigeria, citing escalating insecurity, kidnapping, terrorism, violent crimes across multiple regions of the country. Now, for inside the latest advisory published for inside gov.uk, the UK government warned that insecurity is increasing across Nigeria. Kidnapping, violent crime, and intercommunal violence occur throughout all regions of Nigeria. So the advisory urged British nationals in the country to exercise extreme caution, they put them on quote, extreme caution, review their safety measures and ensure they have contingency plans in place. So the FCDO specifically advised against travel to Borno, Yobe, Adamawa, Gombe, Katsina, and Zamfara State, citing a high and increasing threat from Boko Haram, Islamic Western, and ISIS, particularly around transport hubs, religious areas, and large gatherings. So the statement also warned the humanitarian personnel, vehicle suppliers, and infrastructure can be targeted by terrorists and criminals. For other states, the UK advised against all but essential travel to Bauchi, Kaduna, Kano, Kebbi, Jigawa, Sokoto, Niger, Kogi, Plateau, and Taraba, as well as the outer suburbs of Abuja. That is, if it, even Federal Capital Territory, say make sure say just no go to the suburbs. Now the FCDO also cautioned travelers about potential flashpoints during occasional protests in the capital, advising them to monitor local media, avoid demonstrations and large gatherings, and follow instructions from local police and security officers. The Northeast remains unstable with a continued risk of retaliatory attacks. Authorities warned that worsening security in Maiduguri could make it extremely difficult to live in that city. Well, sir, in fact, they say in the South and Southeast, militant activity, of course, and clashes involving secessionist groups are threats, particularly in riverine areas like Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River. While foreign nationals are not usually targeted, they could still be caught in the violence, they reiterated. Prince Francis Chilaka, we've been waiting for the UK to speak at the wake of meeting Donald Trump's threat. They have spoken now, but they are speaking to advise that people say, oh, come, anything that they do, more than they mindful of these areas for Nigeria. Make I take care of your reaction, sir.
Well, the UK was being economical with the truth. The UK has played their normal divide and rule tactics. They are being very diplomatic. They don't want to be found in the middle of all of this brouhaha. Because if you listen to what you read out, they talked more of intercommunal clashes. So the UK is trying not to admit the fact that there is genocide in Nigeria. If you note, they totally avoided it and went on the spray of saying that there's insecurity. So you people should be careful. And that is what the UK is known for. Anybody who was expecting the UK to take any different stand from what they have done so far does not understand the diplomacy that the UK brings to the table. So I don't see anything they have said that makes sense. I don't see anything that they have said that addresses the core issue on ground, because there are issues that are on ground, but they have politely and systematically decided not to be part of it. They are now sitting on the fence. Let it not be that they have not said anything, but we all know that what they have said is neither here nor there. So that is how this is the UK for you. So there's nothing you can grab onto with what they have said.
So let's quickly look at some other reactions concerning all this Christian genocide thing. Now, a few people don't react to these genocidal attacks in Nigeria. I think a social media commentator, I think Victoria Oranze, Nigerian gospel singer, songwriter, and worship leader, has blamed the ruling All Progressives Congress APC for the recurring terror attacks targeting Christians in Nigeria. She said for many years, Christians have faced threats from Islamic terror groups, Boko Haram, Fulani headsmen, and all that. So in a passionate post on her X, she noted that the constant denial of the challenge with governments within the government circle contributed to how long the genocide of Christians in Nigeria has lasted, maybe because they did deny. She said, for years, I have been speaking and shouting and I won't stop. For this present government, or even the previous government of the past 8 years, that was helped to gain power by this very same present government, to say that there are no killings of Christians in the northern part of Nigeria, then you can just imagine. Okay, let me take that. Christians in the northern part of Nigeria, especially, and some other parts, is a shame, and it's sad that this is the reason it has not stopped, because you refuse to acknowledge it and do something about it. The killings of citizens, Christians and non-Christians, the insecurity, the kidnappings, the failure of our justice system is the silencing of the protesters, the selfish interest of our wicked leaders. Then she said, is it the silencing of our protesters, the selfish interest of our wicked leaders? God has been warning and asking for repentance, but Nigerian leaders have refused, and even some of us, the citizens, are wicked. With God, he said, when God said Pharaoh don't know how to let go of our people, well, she said a lot. But let me quickly take another reaction concerning that, so that you react to all of them at a time. Yeah. So former chairman of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, at the Rivers State and Bayelsa State, Apostle Eugene Ogu, has also called on Bola Ahmed Tinubu to act fast to stop United States President Donald Trump from carrying out his threat to deploy military forces in Nigeria. Ogu talked this one for church today. But beyond that, Odumo the Black, who is a musician, he tweeted something and he said, let me see if I can get that tweet. He said, the killings are so crazy because the victims are not like us that live in urban areas. Unlike them, we have so many distractions for us. Internet, clubbing, gaming, etc. But for these people, all they know is their friends and family. They probably do not even have electricity, so all they have is themselves, only for them to be killed mercilessly, and it's not getting so much outrage because of their class in the society. So he's saying that this killing is continuous is continuing because we feel like the people killed are lesser class of the society. That is, they know to get strong bad for the society. But let me quickly take your reaction, sir, based on all of this response.
Let me start from Odumodu. It's each time we talk about killings in Nigeria, each time we talk about people who are suffering in Nigeria, we know that it is those living in the rural areas. And that's why each time government says, oh, they're doing cash transfer to the poorest of the poor, we ask, where is the data? Where are the poor of the poor? How do you locate them? How do you make the transfer? Because most of the people in this poor of the poor environment don't have light. Some of them don't even have telephone. Most of them don't have an account. So how do you transfer the money to them? So we know that, yes, the killings have been done in those areas, and it's underreported for reasons best known to reporters and to journalists and the government. So it's nothing new to anybody. And then anybody that is sincere and has the love of this country at heart knows that it is high time for your president to wake up from his slumber and begin to act fast. I'll tell you this for free. Donald Trump is not somebody you take for granted. While we are talking about Donald Trump, his demand is quietly setting in motion his next line of action. I've heard a lot of people say if American soldiers enter the soil, that they will fight them, they will kill them, they will do this, they will do, and I ask, all the while that this Boko Haram, these terrorists have been killing ordinary Nigerians in their sleeps, how many of you have gone to pick up arms against them? How many of you have come out to speak against it and fight them? Because some say something no touch you, no means anything no they pain. And that's what I want Nigerians to understand. No Nigerian will be happy to see America invade our land. But if America has a solution to insecurity, I will support it 100%.
Like the gospel singer said, do you believe that successive APC administration has been culpable in some way, complicit in this whole fight against the terrorism, or they've been in denial? She feels say that they're denying and I make they never fit, because when you know own up say there's actually a problem, then how can you fight it? So now they're denying and make they never fit, face the matter squarely and fight them. Do you believe so?
In the 8 years of former president, late President Muhammad Buhari, please, do you have anywhere you saw him admitting that there was insecurity in the land? I can't hear you.
He admitted there is insecurity. He admitted there's insecurity.
When Jonathan was covering the insecurity, what was the position of APC? Yes, what was the position? You see, what is biting them? Yorubas will say, Kokoroto chair for in a follower. You know what that means? It says that how do I put it now? Insect that is eating the leaf is inside the leaf. When President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, then in opposition, gathered people from APC and went to America to tell Americans, the American government, that Christians were being massacred in Nigeria, what did they have at the back of their mind? As at that time, I believe they were acting as patriots. They were being patriotic to Nigeria. From that time to now, the killings have not stopped. Rather, more people are being pushed into IDP camps. But because he is now a president, such things should not be mentioned. And that is the hypocrisy in governance in this country. If, as at 2023, when Mr. President came to power, if he had reached out to the American government for support, even though the American government have claimed that they have been supporting the Nigerian government, they've been pumping so much money into the Nigerian government to fight terrorism. Where is this money? Who is holding the money? Who is being held accountable? Why is it that the weapons being supplied to Nigeria by the American government is not being used? So there's so much corruption, so much mismanagement, so much greed in the system. And this is what is affecting us and nothing else. Our leaders are all greedy, selfish, self-centered. And unfortunately, the Nigerian people are not seeing the truth. They are pretending to themselves. Until the Nigerian people wake up from their sleep and begin to ask questions. You have information in the internet. Why are people not reading? Why are people not taking information and making something out of it? Why are Nigerians so docile? Suddenly, every Nigerian has become patriotic. And suddenly, people are holding protests to protest against Donald Trump. But they have never heard protests against the Boko Haram and terrorists that are killing the people. People were slaughtered in Unjalawata. How many protests did we organize? In all of this, I've not heard anything from the governor of Benue State. The man seemed to have gone into limbo. The names of those who he claimed were responsible, he has not released the names up to date. So what is he waiting for? So for me, honestly, anybody that is saying anything contrary to what is happening in Nigeria today is not a patriotic citizen.
All right, sir. There's a lot we would want to say about this. Just like some APC chieftain don't come out, they tell what did they call them? Nigerians rally around Tinubu at this time because Tinubu needs Nigerians. We should all leave politics and all these things. We could rally around Tinubu to help and fight the insecurity so that all of these things go end. While others are saying that if the president has, wanted to end it, he had all it takes, or he still has all it takes to end it. I mean, but let me quickly move to other issues. Now, still talking about terrorism, we hear that armed terrorists believed to be from Lakurawa group launched a deadly attack on a camp belonging to officers of the Nigerian Customs in Maje, a community in Bagudu local government area of Kebbi State. According to local sources, the assailants arrived in large numbers, and opened fire indiscriminately on the camp, killing one custom officer on the spot before setting the facility ablaze. The terrorists came in their numbers and started shooting sporadically. Everyone ran for safety. That is the attack continued, even though people did complain. It is still ongoing. In fact, as I speak to you, we hear that residents are protesting insecurity in Kogi community after they abducted an elderly woman who was found dead after her abduction. So it is not stopping. It's still continuing. So it's just like, we dare you, Trump, come and do your worst because we're doing our own worst. What could it be really?
In your earlier bulletin, you talked about a peace deal that took place. Precious, in the middle of that peace deal, did people surrender their weapons? Did they surrender their weapons? Did they surrender themselves? You can't have a system where people are holding on to guns, they're holding on to ammunition, and you're talking about peace. That's peace of the graveyard. And that's why I've always said that any peace devoid of justice is peace of the graveyard. So how do you want there to be peace when, the person who killed somebody's father is being rehabilitated and brought back into the society? And you want the person to be happy? It will not happen. It will never happen. I mean, let's say everything anybody is saying, the only thing that would make sense is if the government wakes up tomorrow and says, okay, all the policemen have been creating checkpoints on Lagos roads. We're moving them up north. Let them go and fight the bandits. But with the way things are happening, these bandits are not relenting because they have the weapons. And you have heard several, the Nigerian army have come out to cry. They have come out to say they don't have weapons to fight. So it's one thing for government to say something. It's another thing for those who are meant to carry it out, to carry it out. So now a custom officer has been killed. The facility has been attacked, burnt down. What happened to every other person there? Who has been arrested? Who is responsible? So these are questions. And these are the things that are happening that people feel that the government is not doing enough. You can't, in one place, be saying, you don't want America to come, you don't want America to do this, yet you are unable to curb the menace of these so-called bandits and terrorists and whatever. Until the government needs to be sincere with itself.
All right, sir. So, yeah, as we talk this one, make I quickly let you know. I think it was earlier this week. Was it earlier this week? It was yesterday or so, where Ali Modu Sheriff react to, this story. So this story what I put up here, been on the trend over the years when they say Governor Shettima created and funded Boko Haram, not me. So
2016.
Yes, it was in 2016. He said, we heard he said so. Well, he has now reacted. He has denied accusing his vice, Shettima, at that time of creating Boko Haram. Well, in a statement he published yesterday, Saturday, titled "A Lie Taken Too Far," Shettima, Ali Sheriff are not in warpath. That is, a lie taken too far. Shettima, Ali Sheriff are not in warpath. He said the publication was false and malicious. That is, anybody will talk that in. In fact, let me read part of it. Now, he said the publication is complete fabrication, devoid of truth and deliberate attempt to mislead the public, malign the person of Senator Sheriff, and sow discord within the nation's political landscape. I wish to state unequivocally that at no time did I grant any interview or engaged with any journalist on the said date or any other matter remotely related to the spurious claims contained in the publication. Sheriff stated that the false report was not only mischievous but also a dangerous piece of information or misinformation aimed at undermining his years of contributions to peace, national unity, and development, both in Borno State and he said members of the public and the media are thereby urged to disregard this concocted story in its entirety and desist further. I have instructed my legal team to take immediate steps to identifying all individuals, bloggers, or media outlets responsible for the dissemination of this fabricated or defamatory material. Should the false publication not be retracted and taken down forthwith, I will not hesitate to seek full legal redress under the law. That's what he talks. So they threaten people will publish that one, say he will seek legal redress. So this is him denying that there was no time he supported or funded Boko Haram. I just thought to bring that to the fore.
Yes, I'm happy you brought it up, but then this is medicine after death. This thing came up in 2026.
2016.
Sorry. Ali Modu Sheriff has been in Nigeria. He has been low-key. He saw it. He saw this when he came out in 2016. Why did he not come out then to deny it? How many years down the line now he's trying to deny it? You see, the problem is that the political class think Nigerians are very stupid. And that's why they make the mistake. Nigerians are getting wiser on a daily basis.
Are you thinking that it took Trump's, tweets for him to come out?
But that is what everybody is now trying to, cover their head, cover their ass, cover their stupidities, because suddenly, a Trump in America has spoken. So everybody's taking cover. If Trump didn't speak, what is happening in the north, what is happening in Benue and Plateau State would have been worse. I mean, despite threatening and all of that, these bandits are they not still operating? They are still operating. Who is arresting them? Has your government stopped rehabilitating and integrating those arrested?
But people have been asking for all the things Sheikh Gumi don't talk. Is it worthy of arresting him? And if so, why did they never arrest them? Why he they apprehended?
Well, you should ask the first
question,
why was he chased away from Saudi? Why was he denied entry into Saudi? As a sheikh, as a beloved Muslim, as a light of the Islamic religion in Nigeria, why was he denied to enter the Holy Land, which we know as Medina? It simply shows you that they have more information on him than Nigerian government is really ready to put out.
What that shows is that even the supreme, the apex, level of the Islamic movement, as it were, no, they support anything we get to do with this terrorism. Then where we can't learn our own from, this empathy, what would they give to people when they do bad things? Where we learn them from? If I don't understand. Where we learn them from?
We learn them out of wickedness.
Hey,
and out of
wickedness
politics.
to our own selves.
Exactly. Out of politics. Out of power play. That's where we learned it from. We learned it because we have lost what true governance is. We have lost accountability. Nobody wants to be held accountable. Nobody wants to be held responsible. That is why we are where we are today. You have a country where your leaders go abroad, see things abroad, they come back to Nigeria, they cannot implement it. Tell me how many people from abroad steal money and come and invest in Nigeria. Mention one person. When you look of corruption, mention one government official that you know, either from the US, from the UK, from even China, that you will trace the money they stole from their country to Nigeria. Put a searchlight on Nigerian leaders now. Another time you're gonna say all those islands that they call what do they call those islands self? Get one when I don't discover newly. Get one new island when I just discover. Go and find out people who own properties there. Then you will understand the level we are.
The place where given a national honors, given at the highest honor.
The place where I go give when I even go give them scholarship. So what are we talking about? The problem of Nigeria is leadership. And until the leaders, that is why when Mr. President...
Go ahead, sir.
That is why when your president will say... I don't get you.
I say if you say St. Lucia, now you sabi, not be me talking.
I know. St. Lucia. I think I said Precious. That is why when your president will say, Nigerians, I can feel your pain. I can feel your anger. I can feel your anxiety. Be patient. Let me ride on a new plane. Be patient. Let me have a new ride. Be patient. Let me enjoy my life. And you think that those who sacrificed to build the Asian tigers, they didn't understand what was going on? They didn't understand the kind of sacrifice they needed to make? Which of your leaders is ready to make that sacrifice? Mention one leader in Nigeria that is ready to sacrifice. When Nigerians were saying, oh, there is so much hunger, there is so much poverty, your senators and honorable members were busy debating and buying new SUVs. Your governors are busy buying SUVs for themselves, their wives, the judges, and every other person. The oil everybody is talking about. Suddenly, Nigerians now know they have oil. Suddenly, Nigerians now know they have solid minerals. How many of these poor Nigerians have benefited from the wealth of this country? And the only way we can benefit from it collectively is by having good roads, good medical attention, good schools, employment for, our younger ones when they come out of school. Where are these things? Where are they? You go out of this country, you see airport, you marvel, you want to sleep in an airport. Can you sleep in Murtala Mohammed International Airport and not have malaria +2+2? Can you?
All right, so Prince Francis, so let's quickly jump into other conversations. Okay, make we enter inside Anambra State. Before we enter inside Anambra State, make I quickly let you know. Say, I don't know what I remember the grief side Reverend Ezekiel Dachumo. He don't refute widespread rumors about the alleged disappearance because people been not they worried about him not being available, saying don't disappear for too long, they never see him. I think he was in a live broadcast this evening with what was her name again? Yeah, Adiola. So he was on a live broadcast this evening. But then he also said something in church this today to state that, however, even though he's still safe, but that his life is under threat. Let's just take a listen to him briefly.
This is a good one because my life, some people have put money on my head, and they get 7 days. They are chanting. Even in Sokoto, they are casting spell on my life, but they will not get anything. I've never cheated my wife. I've never stolen your money in the church. I love including my enemy. I love the Fulani. I gave them form to go to Makkah. This thing that God has placed in my heart is something that always develops courage and confidence. I don't have an enemy and I will never have an enemy. Because if I do, I'm in trouble. God said, love your enemy, cares for your enemy. I've worked with all the sectors that have been here, giving them help to succeed in their leadership. And I give God the glory. Even the past Josie that left Abubakar, that now is in Borno, we worked together. We were able to stop cattle rustling that is going on within this place. The former Mieti Allah was killed. I was very sad, crying in my room, my patient room in India. I was just phoning home how manage the former Mieti Allah leader. We worked together. He stood for Fulani people. Went against the arrogance that are there. The same thing I was doing, the same thing in our jurisdiction, under my leadership, farm and the rest, in which we succeeded in walking among our youth. They stopped cattle rustling, not only stopping it, they arrest drinkers that comes from Fulani areas. They brought it to Sakto, and they call the owner. They discover it is their children that are walking. We want to start again with my brother, my superior. We are going to give him support.
All right, so you heard that. There in the narrate, how in don't love everybody inclusive of even the Fulanese and saying nobody, hate anybody. And he spoke about a bounty where they don't put for your head, say maybe make sure say they catch him and say they don't even give ultimatum of a number of days where be say they go catch him. And we hope that he would continue to be safe and that indeed nothing would happen to him. I just thought to mention that because people had been worried about him over for a period
Well,
of time.
let me say this. I think that those who are fueling the amber of war and those who are fueling the amber of injustice, they must also know that there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. I think it would be the most stupid thing and the most unwise thing for anybody to think of taking this man out right now. If anybody takes him out, if any group takes him out, precious, be rest assured that the response will be swift and deadly.
Okay. Let's hope he remains safe. All right, I'm moving on very quickly. We hear that about 45, okay, we had some police officers involved in providing security during the Anambra State governorship election have been shot by some Nigerian army personnel. If you remember, about 45 police personnel were deployed, 45,000, I beg your pardon, in the year 45,000 were deployed, for the election that took place on Saturday. So we hear say clash day, say happening now on our way coming back from Anambra State election, we had a misunderstanding with army personnel at the military checkpoints. Before we knew what was going on, they opened fire on us. One officer was shot directly on his chest, with many other policemen injured. So they talk. The issue has caused generated riots as we're talking. We are that now waiting a business. In fact, there's a video of it, but I cannot show that. So people now don't they complain, say, wait, army way business supposed day for barracks, waiting in the fight for road. Say now safe now election matters, they don't call me now to settle. Make I take your reaction very quickly, sir. Nigerians, please kindly ensure that you like and share this post, please, and also subscribe. Go to Prince Chilakat TV and then Precious Any TV. Like, share, subscribe, follow us like a village people. Go ahead, sir.
When you bring somebody, it's like bringing a monk who has been in the monastery for too long out, and you are asking him to get involved in public life. Everything he does, there'll be this element of anger and frustration, because he feels that in the last years he has been denied a lot of things. What is playing out between the army and the police is unfortunate, and it simply shows you that the army is not meant to be brought out in broad daylight. They're not trained to be security guards. They are trained to be able to help the people in time of crisis. Like this issue of Boko Haram, the army should be there fighting. But at the end of the day, when you go investigate this matter now, you're not saying a money problem. The money, then they cause all this wahala. You don't go pass money. Say that I don't go collect money for election, and I don't give us our share. Something like that. But for armed soldiers to open, to start shooting police officers, it shows you that there is a big problem ahead. Because I don't know anything again to talk. Now two people carry gun. Even like the fight between Ned Woko and Regina Daniels. You know how to talk about. Because you come like this, you go for. You come like this, you go for. So the way
yes, and Ned don't respond this evening. Tell her say she must make sure say she go rehab. Now people call it say him love her, he won't make she go rehab. People call it say wait. Now she they do the drugs. You care. Why are you forcing her to go to the rehab by fire by force at your own will?
Because they get children together. I know I make the children.
She did alive. He said, "Woman, she did alive. Take care of their children."
He has a point there, but then
the same rehab that she has said that he gets doctors to inject her there.
Precious, leave this people matter.
Okay, sir.
It's not really enjoy for Lamborghini. You did there.
All right. So very quickly, let me rush on some topics and open the phone lines. We hear that Tinubu is more focused on 2027 election while Nigerians die daily. That now it's an ex-camp president, Samson Ayokunle don't accuse them, saying they're more focused on going back to Aso Rock. Meanwhile, Nigerians they die daily, and they I'm like saying Nigerians they die. They even act as Nigerians they die. And then let's see some other stories I have here. Oh, we also hear that ISWAP and Boko Haram, they in a fierce battle on who will conquer the Lake Chad basin, who will take charge of the Lake Chad island. So they fight, not be small shooting. I see the video of them shooting anyhow, but of course I can't add that there. Now there's a story that is very pathetic, sir, that patients at the General Hospital Argungu in Kebbi State are reportedly being treated in heartbreaking and degrading conditions, despite official claims that the facility was recently renovated at a staggering cost of 973.8 million naira. That is almost 1 billion naira, and they use renovator. Yet, people, they receive treatment for ground. That is, people, they collect blood transfusion for ground. You can't remind me the one where people they receive blood for car safe, for under tree, for hospital where for Lagos.
When I hear things like this, I can relate easily. Yeah, I can relate easily. But where I also get worried is that tomorrow, when you start advocacy against it, the same people who you saw lying on the floor receiving blood will carry placard against you. I don't know who do Nigeria as that kind of juju. Where people no go feel look into the eyes of those that are, dealing with them and confront them. It's so it might sound funny, but it's so painful and sad that Nigeria has become a country where the oppressed love their oppressors. They love those who oppress them. They love the slavery attitude. They love the fact that they're enslaved. They love it. And it is really, really sad and painful, honestly speaking. So for me, it's a sad situation, but what can you do? You ask the people to now hold their governor, their rep, or local government chairman responsible or accountable. They will give 1,001 reason to defend him. So now the Nigerian people don't become, honestly, precious. Nigerian people, I don't just know. The thing they scatter my head, the way Nigerians they behave. The way Nigerians they behave, I've not seen any African country that behave the way we behave in this country. I've not seen. It makes me bleed when I see the way Nigerians react to things. I feel so bad. I feel so pained because the same Nigerians tomorrow when you see them, they'll be over the place. You go and protest, they'll protest against you. That's how bad things have become. But then, like I said, nothing is working in the country.
All right. Make I see whether I get any other thing way I go put one inside. Yeah. I mean, you're gonna put my for inside the Anambra State election. Soludo don't win. It talks say Anambra will never see anything yet. They are going to see the next Japan right now. They've not seen anything yet. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't congratulate her. Meanwhile, APC don't mock or they mock Peter Obi. They tell them, "Ooh, your people have rejected you because we win your polling unit. Your people don't want you again. You better not even think of 2027 again. No, not think I'm again. No." Make her take your reaction while I open the phone lines.
I know that they go mock Peter Obi, but Olusegun Obasanjo, president, when he was a contest, he lost his polling unit. Even your president lost his polling unit. So there's nothing. There's not the kind of elections you have in this country are elections that are filled with corruption. So anything goes. Anything goes. So for me, it's not whether he loses his polling unit or not. APC, they're not ashamed. What will be the position of their candidate? Upon all the amount where they make, they don't feel win Charles Soludo will never bring China and Japan to Anambra. So I said it from day one that there was no way anybody, that the only person that could have fought Charles Soludo to a standstill, I still maintain it, is Vincent. It's Valentine. He's the only person. Yes, he's the only person that could have made an imprint in Anambra election. But what happened? He push him this way, push him that way, he push him out of the system.
All right, hello, good evening and welcome. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hello, good evening. I'm calling from Canada.
What's your name, sir?
The name is Marvelous.
Marvelous, you're welcome. Go ahead, let's hear you.
Okay, yeah, but my question is to Prince
Chilaka. Okay, sir.
The question is this: is there no law like the past Anambra election now? Is there no law that criminalize what the governor did, as in what he did, like buying votes, giving people money to vote for them? Is there no law that criminalizes those things or that disqualify those people for even participating on that election? Is there no law?
Sir? Okay, he will respond. Thank you, sir.
So what was the question?
You know here.
I didn't hear very well.
He say no law. Is there no law where they criminalize vote buying? The kind of thing where BC Soludo do. No law we suppose suspend person like that made a no contest for election.
Which law? Precious.
Happened?
There is no law in this country.
The law, state, sir.
The law is only affecting the poor man, not the rich man. But which law? Don't forget that the governor, that the man that is contesting, already has immunity. So which law you want to go hold on? Now EFCC want to go arrest the governor.
The INEC law can disqualify him from contesting election.
Now, look
He can be disqualified.
Wait now, the INEC law we want disqualify him. How where want start from? If the INEC law go disqualify him, why your president not congratulate him already? Why?
Same visionary leader for Anambra State.
We they see now, we they wait for China and Japan. Now we they wait for. Now that he has won the election, I hope he will allow P2B to rest.
All right, sir. Okay. All right. Nigeria's phone lines are still open. 0817-029-4077. That's the WhatsApp number you can call immediately. Or you just follow the link waited by the pinned post. The link will bring you straight into the studio, make you participate for the conversation we would get for hand. Hands. Okay. All right. I was going to okay. I see some other stuff. So I don't know whether I see this drama we happen between BBC reporters and Donald Trump, and as most of them don't resign, the ones who they involved in doctoring Donald Trump's speech. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Yes, please, welcome.
Prince Chilaka, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
You see, the last caller's question made me laugh. I laugh like Prince Chilaka. Can you hear me?
I did hear you, my sister.
Nigerians are funny people, though. Chai. Nigerians are like the man who is pretending to be asleep, like Oga Jonathan said.
Wait, you go have to wake them up.
And you can't wake them. Imagine I'm not condemning your viewers. So you're asking, is there no law? I was in this whole drama that has been going on since this Donald Trump threat. I was watching. I don't know if there's this a press corps thing that people have been presenting to some of all those videos that you've been showing. Different bloggers have been showing bits and pieces of it. How they gave government notice before they were going to go to Yellow. All those bits and pieces. Listen to some of them. There's one where the man was saying that if the government does not brief the press,
you heard me play that was from this platform, Truth Nigeria now. Okay. I had played it before. Now he said you see that. So did you watch the day I played it? Because see, as somebody who's been in this industry for over 20 years in Nigeria, that's a way to pay me. Prince like maybe go need make I play and make it here. The thing he pay me well. You know why? Because there's a lot of truth in what he said. You know, I used to be with Radio Nigeria. I don't know if you knew back then. And in Lagos, in Radio Nigeria, there was a time I used to handle the breakfast show. And our flagship show then during the breakfast show was a newspaper headline. And I remember us getting a call under President Muhammadu Buhari's administration to stop taking phone calls during the newspaper headlines. You know why? You know why?
Why?
Because all the phone calls that abuse government. You understand? So there are times that the NSCIA said, okay, you can take only messages. Even the messages, we doctor them. So when this man, okay, that's part of the reason I had to resign from mainstream media, by the way. First of all, I left Radio Nigeria, went to private practice. When I noticed that private stations were not working that much on me to protect my mental health, as I always tell you people, I just had to hands off. Now, when he said that thing he said, I could it's something I could feel. Do you understand? Because I know that the only way we have news is when Nigerian government officials call for press conference. If they pay me, what make I go play me game Prince? Feel like I understand.
Cannot ignore the fact that there is Nigerian
I
government
beg. I don't know
complicity
whether they hear for your end. I make I open this media here. Yeah,
with these attacks. You saw some of our journalists in the documentary. You cannot ignore the fact that there is Nigerian government complicity with these attacks. You saw some of our journalists in the documentary. We wanted to be an organization that tells the truth about what's happening in Nigeria, hence truthnigeria.com. I want to just kind of let everybody know and help you understand how Nigerian news works. If a Nigerian government official does not call for a news conference, the event did not exist. So in order for the narrative to get to the mainstream media, get picked up by Al Jazeera, get picked up by CNN, everything else, it comes from a Nigerian government source. From the very beginning, they determine the narrative. The reporters regurgitate the government narrative. We decided to be a voice and try to help change that paradigm. And created Truth Nigeria to document what is actually happening. How many of you guys know that there were 10 Christians killed in Kaduna just the other day? How many of you know that there were 30 Christians killed in Plateau just a week ago? How many of you know that besides the 280 Christians that were killed in Yellowwater on June 13th, we are now about over 500 Christians that have been killed total since Yellowwater? No one knows. The media is not reporting it. Well, that's why we formed Truth Nigeria, to talk about what is going on. But also, what we pointed out in the documentary that I'd like everybody to realize is that Truth Nigeria had information that the attack on Yellowwater was going to occur 3 weeks before the attack happened. Now, when we get a terror alert and we find information, we know attacks are going to occur, our method is we issue a terror alert on our website, truthnigeria.com, but we also immediately call the local authorities. We notify the Nigerian military, the DSS, the Nigerian government, to let them know this is what we found out, this is our intelligence. Now, a day before the attack, we got word that there's movement happening. They are mobilizing, and they are coming for Yellowwater. So the day before, our team notified the government, the local authorities, the army, the police, and said, hey, there's movement, they're coming, watch out. What happened? Absolutely nothing. The government stood by and did nothing with advance warning multiple times. In fact, there's a military fob with soldiers that was less than a kilometer away while the attacks were going on, shooting warning shots in the air, but did not engage the terrorists as people were being burned to death, hacked to death with machetes, and being slaughtered.
I'm sure that that's what you were talking about, right, Laura? So you see that particular place is said, just to make it clear, this is how the Nigerian media news works. That one pay me, he pay me special pin. It's okay, thank you. Go ahead, please. Priscilla is busy laughing at me.
Okay, so there is that, right? See, people, the person who called and said, oh, is there no law? Is there no this? Nigerians, we know that the Nigerian government collude with terrorists, right? But we Nigerians, we collude with bad governance. We collude. Hey. We Nigerians, we collude with bad governance. If one day, maybe when I finish, maybe towards Christmas, when I'm on annual leave, one day I will do a program with you. I will talk. I go talk.
I don't feel wait.
Because I am fed up of Nigerians. Let's leave that. Today is not for that. Make my blood pressure no high. Today is not for Nigerians. One day I will face us. Docile and wicked people. Everybody is running kitty kata. Because why? Because the pains that the people in the middle belt are facing. Six commercial motorcycle bike riders just got killed recently this week.
Yes.
In Benue State, and there was protests.
Yes.
There's a bus that was going from somewhere in the southwest to Kwara that they were attacked. A Christian, I don't know why, with the security situation in Nigeria, why a bus of Christians going on a program? You are going to Kwara. You, instead of renting a bus that is neutral, you took your church bus with the name blazoned on it for everybody to see that you are Christians. Christians in Nigeria, some of them are dummies. I'm sorry to say, and I'm a Bible-believing, tongue-speaking, Holy Ghost fire believer. See, the church in Nigeria is in a situation, and Prophet Tomi Arayomi said it. He said God will judge his church. He said it before he left Nigeria when Tinubu arrested him. He said it. Listen, I don't even want to. The day I will sit down and talk, we will talk church, we will talk Nigeria. Nigerians will be shouting, hey, let the pastor stop. If the pastor speaks and he gets arrested, all of you will sit inside your house. The reason nobody wants to talk, look at Ganifa Wemi. The reason people are tired of standing up for Nigerians is because if they get jailed, you won't see Nigerians on the streets.
Yes.
It will be the man and his family. Made Kuti put a tweet or something out, I don't know if it's a month or two ago. He said, Nigerians, go and fight your own battles. My family has done enough. And rightly so. Bekor and Kuti, Fela and Nicola Kuti, his grandmother herself. How many times have Nigerians stood up and fought for them? How many times, when people come out, how many times do we get up and we back them? I keep referring us to Ousmane Sanko, the current Prime Senegal, and Diomaye Faye, the current president. Why have they had 60 unbroken years of democracy in Senegal? I sat and I read a lot during that period of time. When they arrested one of the opposition leaders, the picture is there, the videos are online. These people marched to the prison. So people find it easy to speak up as opposition in Senegal because they have a long-standing 60-year history that the people will back you. When the former president, who is pro-France, before Diomaye Faye came and took over, when he was in office and he wanted to extend the date of election, wahala, the people hit the street. He took it before the Constitutional Court. I don't know if it's their Supreme Court.
Yes, we saw that protest. Now they don't let them. They don't let them. They don't let them. Yes.
Why can the Supreme Court stand and do something against the sitting president? Because they know the ultimate power.
For the people hand.
But power resides in the people because the Constitution says we the people. But the Dosa Akamu Nigerians. If I have a father who is a freedom fighter, I would tell him, Baba, sit down. The people don't deserve it. When I looked at the Anambra thing, I didn't really follow the Anambra election because I knew nothing was going to come out from it. I said, why is Peter Obi bothering? Why is he bothering? The people are not ready. Leave them. Let them not organize. Today is not for Nigeria. I don't want to focus on it. I want to focus on the people of Benue. Now that the US wants to turn the whole Nigeria to IDP camp, God forbid that's not what they want to do. But what people in the Southwest and the rest of Nigeria are afraid of, hey, let the US not come and turn out, hey, look at all the other countries they've been to. Look at what they turned it to. But let me tell you, the Nigeria that the people in the Middle Belt are experiencing is that Nigeria than what Syria looks like. What Syria looks like, what Sudan looks like, the fear that Trump will turn our country into those places that America has been to. There are Nigerians who are already living in that reality for 10 years. Oh, we don't want our country to be turned into IDP camps. There are Nigerians who have been living in IDP camps. Somebody said since 2014, they've been in IDP camps. What did the rest of us do? We get on with dirty December. The main reason why I want Trump to come is for Nigerians. We need to go back to factory reset. Something is wrong with us. The things that shake nations to hit the street with protest to say, never, we will not accept. Nigerians take it as normal. Trump must burn us to reality. Oh, do we want to come and sell our oil? Tell me Lazarus today. Talking.
Oh yes, I saw the things he said, and I'm like, but wait, have you realized there's something wrong with? There's a way almost all men of God, religious leaders are going either I don't want to say ethnic or tribal way because it just looks that way. Why are we like this now?
I was telling one deacon in my former church, I said, when it comes to marriage, I do not listen to any Nigerian pastor. I've stopped a long time ago. Because there is a twisting of doctrines I follow the Bible, and I look at pastors who, there are exceptional pastors in Nigeria who treat their spouses well. I pick those as example. But particularly, when it comes to marriage, I stop listening to Nigerian because many of them are chauvinists. I stop listening. When this FOMS singer died, and none of them agreed to took my mind away from all of them, I removed it. Because why? If we speak, then the men, because our society, let's even put that aside. I want Trump to come, not even because of Tinubu, because of Nigerians. Our country needs a hard reset. We are wicked. Now, Trump wants to do to us. That is not why Trump is coming, but that is what people are thinking in their mind. Self-preservation. We have an attitude in Nigeria. I was watching Adiola. Anytime you watch Adiola Faye's channel, there's something she's always saying, that when something happens to one group of people, the rest of Nigerians will not speak up. We will carry on like nothing.
Yes,
how many times have Shawore said, let us hit the streets? Nigerians will sit down in the house. I was watching a video of this British Nigerian man that's a pastor, prophet that Tinubu arrested. Today I will call your channel. I will talk. I will talk from the Christian angle as a born-again, spirit-filled Christian. I will talk from different angles. We must challenge our pastors respectfully. I believe in spiritual authority. I will never speak evil of any man of God, but we can challenge with respect. We can challenge with scriptures. There is a young prophet in the Bible that was to go into a particular town, and the Lord told him, you see this older pastor, that's where you are going to. Do not eat. Do not be compelled to sleep overnight. Don't take his food, nothing. There's something that God does. He doesn't destroy the old pastor that is there, that has gone away from his wish. He raises a new one. Several years ago, let me digress a bit, I saw a video, almost, is it 6 or 7 years ago or 5 years ago now? I saw a video. It was Professor Arayomi. He was saying he can't speak Yoruba. He was raised in the UK by his parents, and himself, Reverend Isi Ginegba, Pastor Nathaniel, but it was mostly him talking, and they were asking him now, has God shown you anything about it? Because he's a prophet to nations. A lot of things happen in Ukraine. He prophesied them to the bone before it happened. Anyway, they were asking him something, and he said, this was almost 5-6 years ago. He said he was seeing something about Nigeria, where he said Nigeria is hanging between sun and concern. Sun, and this was almost 5 years ago. Sun, S-U-N, concern, C-O-N-C-E-R-N. And he was saying a lot of things. A lot of things he said then, unfortunately, they've happened now. Because I was looking at him then, what's this man saying? What's this man saying? See, then he said, I see a European hand of influence over a Nigerian leader, compelling and controlling him. He said, behind him, I see I don't know if it's a cabinet of files wanting to bust open. But this European hand controls him by reason of those documents in the files and in the cupboards. Ladies and gentlemen, what are we saying? Because of the files that he has, there is a control and influence from France, a European hand. Let's move on from that. My point is, after he gave that prophecy, a few years later, one day, I saw on YouTube, he said God was sending him to Nigeria. He said that he had a dream or something, and he saw a lotus plant, and he mentioned some other things. And he was saying, what does this thing mean? What does this thing mean? And he goes to check, and he discovers that the lotus plant is the national plant for Nigeria. I didn't even know that. I was watching that video. I had to pause and go and check what is national plant or national something or flower of Nigeria. I discovered what is a lotus or something. There's a name for that plant. And God said he's sending him. I remember this very precious. I will look for it and send you a link. God said, I am sending you to stop the Islamization of Nigeria. This was 2-3 years before Buhari will end his tenure. Tinubu had not said Emiloko or anything. About 2 weeks or a month before Tinubu says Emiloko, this man puts out a prophecy on social media across everywhere. He types it out and says, God says, do not bend an ear to the man who says, it is my turn, but the one who says it is a privilege to serve. Many people screenshotted it. A few weeks or a month after that, Tinubu comes out and says
Emiloko.
And it was Nigerians who were screenshotting and saying, Pastor Tumara, can't you see that your prophecy has come to pass? I say, what prophecy? Because Tinubu said Emiloko, he doesn't understand Europe. So people had to interpret, even though both his parents are Yoruba, interpret to him that Emiloko means it is my turn. And fortunately for him, he had already put out that prophecy that says it is my turn. Now, when he prophesied that a foreigner will rule them in the UK, then the conservatives were doing it. They were in power. They were doing an election. He said a foreigner will rule them.
That is before Sunak came in.
People now said, then Liz Truss won. People now went on social media and insulted him, the fake prophet that you said no.
I believe Liz did not even spend. How many months did she spend? How many weeks did she spend?
4 days. Shortest time was
yes.
Sunak came. Let's put all of that to one side. We were warned about the character of Tinubu. Tinubu came to steal, and to destroy. Hey. I went back and I was listening to a video of Reverend Chris before the election. He said, I see among the candidates, I see a demonic spirit ruling Nigeria using the face of one of the candidates. Somebody was playing that video. Somebody cut out that part from a prophecy that Reverend Chris gave when we were praying before the election, where he talked about the two of the candidates, or 3 of the candidates. And when I watched that place this last week, he says, I see a demonic spirit ruling Nigeria using the face of one of the candidates. I didn't remember that Reverend Tomi Arayo missed a few days to the Nigerian election. He said, I had a dream. I saw the hand of a rickety, the thing looked like a demonic spirit.
Yes, I saw. We saw that prophecy at the wake of 2023. Yes,
he said a very rickety hand, and when I looked, it was the face. He doesn't know how to pronounce it. It was the face of Tinubu. That's how he calls it. How 2 people that don't know themselves prophesying that a demonic spirit will rule you. There's the spiritual side, there's the natural side. See.
No.
Let me say something. For those of us who are spiritual people, see, men rule on earth, but principalities rule in the heavens, and we leave it there. The Bible says that although Sisera was fighting a war on earth, he said in the heavenlies the kings fought. Let me leave it there. Anybody that is spiritual that is hearing me, they know what I'm talking about. Let's leave it there. I won't go for that. Let me come back to the physical. Dear Nigerians, we looked the other way. The things that have been happening in the Middle Belt. Let us look beyond the Middle Belt. How many people can travel by road? I have family members.
I won't dare it all. I don't have money for ransom.
I have warned my family members. Because I have family members that they like party. This person has died there. They will travel all the way to another part of the country for funeral. I have told them I will not contribute a dime to anybody's rescue from kidnappers. Sit in your house, except it is a health issue. Then if I will contribute to take a flight. Somebody just told me recently that his mom is in Nigeria. His mom is in my state. And his mom wanted to go from Lagos back home to her state. How much was it? One-way ticket was 300,000.
Yes, so it's expensive. Yes.
Even if you work for KPMG and they pay you 800,000, how can you afford flights?
Yes.
If you wanted to bring your mother from Akwa Ibom to come to Lagos to do eye test, will you pay 600,000 to and fro?
It's crazy.
How many of us have the heart to tell our family member to go by road? Look at the Christian people that were going for a convention just this Friday. I was watching the video, multiple bullets through the windows, blood in the bus, just by going for a convention. And Tinubu's APC has been driving bigotry since during the 2023 election. It has been for those of us who are on Twitter, for the sake of my mental health, I had to leave Twitter. Before Tinubu came into election and all through the election, up until the 2 years, 7 months, it has been a bigotry Olympics. I was just watching Emir Saddam's video now on YouTube, and he was saying that have we all noticed that since the US warning to Tinubu, all the people, is it Dada, something that is Tinubu's special advisor, all those people that do bigotry Olympics from Lagos State, in the Lagos State government, all those people, there are many of their names now, I can't remember them, that have been criticizing the Igbos, causing ethnic rivalry in Lagos. Do you know that they've all stopped tweeting ethnic issues since Trump's warning? Do you know they've all stopped? Emma Sabah just did a video about it. I will forward it to you. They stopped. They know what they are doing. At the middle of Tinubu's politics is ethnicity, religious division from the beginning when he took that Muslim ticket. And there are pastors that supported Muslim ticket. Pastor Pojo Yemade supported Muslim ticket. I watched multiple videos.
Did you not hear Pastor Paul Adeprasin said that Saul would, David will come, but Saul will come first.
Let's even say that Pastor Paul Adeprasin was even just giving a prophecy of, let's even make an excuse that he saw something and he was just telling us what he saw. Let's put it aside. Pastor Poji was not giving a prophecy. With all due respect, this is a man that I respect. I've learned so much from him. But you know what? In truth and in love, for the sake of the blood of the innocent, I'm going to have to say it. Because Pastor Poji will not travel by road. He will travel by air. But his congregants will travel by road. He said it multiple times before the election. He defended it with everything in him, that there is nothing wrong in a Muslim ticket. Pastor Poji, in case they cut this clip and you hear it, I have followed you, I have watched you, but since those statements, I refuse to participate in the May and October platform that he does, because you cannot on one hand be supporting the people who would destroy the nation and another hand be bringing Patrice Lumumba and any other person to come and talk to us. And I'm glad that that Lumumba guy told them that you cannot vote for wrong people and start praying to God to deliver your country. Multiple times in services, I will be sitting and wondering, I'm like, God, what is this? Why is he saying that there's nothing wrong with the Muslim ticket? I wondered then, but out of spiritual respect, I did not say anything. I kept quiet. During one of the End Bad Governance protests, Arise TV was doing an interview, and they interviewed the current PAN Lagos State Chapter President, Pastor Yemi Davis. Pastor Yemi Davis said, even these Muslims, he was saying all the things that pastors are doing, by giving food, spending a lot of the church income to support people since Tinubu's government came in and removed the subsidy. There's something Pastor Yemi Davis said, because my conscience was bothering me. I said, I will not speak against a man of God. I will not speak against Pastor God. I will keep quiet. Let me see. Sometimes there is wisdom in keeping quiet. I kept quiet. Pastor Yemi said something, and he's a close friend of Pastor Poji. He said,
Yes, they're very close friends.
He said when the Muslim ticket was announced, that he said, this is not right. That he, as members of Lagos State Chapter of CAN, that him and several pastors, they gathered together, they were praying, Lord, let this thing not be. Look, they were praying. So how can some people in the church, some pastors, be praying against the Muslim ticket, whilst another group within the same church were praying for the Muslim ticket? Today, the verdict is out. Can we see the consequences of the Muslim tickets? Can we see?
But Pastor Yemi Osinbajo was a vice president, and there was, that people that accuse the Buhari regime as escalates most of these things.
That a vice president has virtually no power. A vice president will function to the extent.
So are you saying that? Are you rather saying that it would have only been fair that Buhari, a Muslim candidates, ruled for 8 years, and the next person should have been a Christian? Is that what you're saying, in other words?
What I am
apart from the Muslim ticket,
even if the other person turned out to be a Muslim, you should have made your vice a Christian. It should have been a balance.
But you talk, say the vice president as Spetaya now. So even if the same make the vice a Christian, it will still be Spetaya. Just
I'm just showing you layers of complicity. That's all I'm saying, both from within the church and from outside the church. I'm not blaming anybody. I am pointing to all of our missteps. How some of us put ethnicity over and above the peace of the country. It did not matter. Okay, let us look at Pastor Sarah Omako. How many times has this woman been calling that the church should speak up? That those preachers from the north, those people are fearless. How many? There was a day, I don't know, somebody who put the clip, and I was watching Pastor Sarah Omako. What was she talking about? She's from Kaduna, she's from Southern Kaduna, and she was talking about this case of a woman who was raped by Boko Haram. At a point, I had to turn it off because I could not live with the description. Pastor Selman Omako has documented. Pastor Selman, different pastors from the north have been talking. Could it mean that Pastor Pojoyemade had not seen, heard any of those things and was still supporting a Muslim ticket? I know the number of times he gave examples. Oh, that Tofa and he gave example of when we had a Muslim leadership, MKO and Kikingibe.
And people supported it.
But is the Nigeria of today the same to Nigeria of then? I salute the courage of young Nigerians who are calling Amenegobo. I only advise that they do it respectfully. I will not, even in that, I will still be respectful in the way I will say it. I will say it with decorum, I will say it with respect, but I will still say Habanu. And for example, many are speaking up now. You know why? Only because we are afraid that those bombs will come to this side. Only because we are afraid of what we have seen as leftovers when the US left some nations. It's not all nations. They left many. They are in Saudi Arabia. Why is Saudi Arabia not scattered? They are in Qatar. Why is Qatar not scattered? They are in Oman. Why is Oman? They are in multiple nations doing peacekeeping. Why are those nations not scattered? Because the leaders have not colluded. There's a BBC documentary I was listening to, a conversation I was listening to on the BBC or one of the radio stations in the UK one day. And they were talking about that, when the British left in India, the partition between Pakistan and India, how it created conflict between people who were one nation, just describing the aftermath. But they described something that happened in the Emirates. How that the British were going to leave and they were pitting one Emirate against another, and all the leaders of those Emirates came together and said, you know what, there's no need for us to fight each other, because they had independence a bit later. So they were able to learn the lessons of the divisions that were left over of British colonialism. And they said, you know what, let's govern by this Emirati system. Everybody keep your own Emirate, but we will be the United Arab Emirates. I'm not saying they have their own issue of backing radical Islam in Sudan. But I'm just saying our leaders collude. And we, those South Nigerians, we also collude. We are only now speaking up. Although there are people who have spoken up, and I will mention their names. The people who have, but Reverend Paul Enenche, you see, those people who come from the places where their people have been decimated, they have been speaking up. Reverend Paul Enenche has talked and talked. He went to Yelawata.
He reached out to them too.
When people do not do the right thing, I will say it. I will say it.
Thank you, Laura. Thank
you. I wrap up in 1 minute. Okay. APC is a cancer.
Yeah.
Nigerians, yesterday I said it that if you are in the US, call your senator. Now, I have another assignment, dear Nigerians. Whether you are in the US or you are in the UK, any part of the world, go to the foreign media sites. Anywhere you see any video about genocide, a lot of the and I'm left-leaning in my policies, a lot of the left-leaning stations are saying there is no genocide. Christian Amanpour, I saw a station this evening, so many, and I noticed that many of them are Muslims or have a Muslim background. Zeteo, Z-E-T-E-O, Hassan, what's his last name? Hassan something. He used to be a broadcaster in the UK, went to the US. I think he was in MSNBC also. Before he started, he founded Zeteo. On his website, Hassan Mehdi, M-E-H-D-I. Hassan Mehdi has been parroting that there isn't a Christian genocide.
They should come now. They should come. We'll take them to the community.
So people he could interview. He took a white man from nowhere and says he's interviewing him that may not even have stepped foot in Nigeria and is interviewing him. Go to Zeteo, Z-E-T-E-O. Go under the comment section. I saw a few Nigerians, all Muslim names, saying that there is no Christian genocide. I and a few Nigerians were under there commenting. I'm giving evidence that there is. I noticed that it's the same thing on CNN. When CNN was going to interview somebody to say whether there's Christian genocide or not, who did they take? A Muslim, Farid Zakaria. Farid Zakaria that has done a bit of consultancy for the Lumelu Foundation, that has done interviews for Nigerian elites. What do you expect him to say? He was saying, Tinubu is a moderate Muslim with an ordained Christian wife. That corrupt woman, ordained Christian wife, indeed. Our in-law, indeed. See, CNN, a lot of left-leaning stations have been commenting, talking rubbish that there is no genocide. Please, Nigerians, go to these stations on their website. Any video you see that a foreign, that an American channel posted that is left-leaning, that is denying the genocide, go under there, say it, type it. A lot of Muslims are going under there commenting that I am Nigerian, there is no genocide. I am Nigerian, there's no genocide. Please go under there and comment. I've been doing it all through the week, commenting. Go there. Zeteo, ZETEO, CNN, MSNBC, all CBS, leave Fox. Fox is already telling the truth. Go to the left-leaning people and comment and say, I am a Nigerian, and tell the stories, because they're already telling a wrong narrative. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Dave Francis Chilaka, do closing prayer for us. You don't end. You don't end. She don't finish the talk. Nights don't come. It's almost 12 o'clock. I know you're going to work tomorrow. Your Luther has continued. So let me let you. I don't know what you want to say, but if you have something to say.
The truth of the matter is that when you look at Nigeria and you look at Nigerians, you can only but shed tears. Shed tears because the people have been battered. The people have been left in the cold. The people have been left to starve, but the people are not willing to fight for their rights.
Hell.
The people are not willing to stand their grounds. The people are scared of saying the truth. And that is where the real problem lies. And until the people, like I keep saying, until the people wake up from their slumber, look, nothing will change. Absolutely nothing will change. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Like I say, good night. Good night, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate you. Nigerians, please go and follow Prince Francis Chilaka TV. Prince Francis Chilaka TV. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir. Your reward day for earth, no day for heaven. God bless you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, Nigerians, that's the size of our package this evening. It's another incredible outing. Laura, you know it's always a pleasure having you speak passionately about Nigeria, even though you're going to make me shout. It's Laura that said this thing, it's not me. Oh, you should not come for me. It is Laura. Oh, please. Disclaimer. None of these things from me. Now the people them we talk am, I talk am. No be me talk am. I'd like to thank everyone. Thank you so much. Laura, may your oil never run dry. And everybody who's always contributed here. Oil no go run dry. In fact, the water I go drink, no go run past on. And no go run past that water. The water self no go pass on. I'll see you again tomorrow evening, God willing. For now, ensure you protect your mental health because wahala need to finish. Good night and God bless you.